What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Mindful Reality TV from a mental health perspective. This year I didn't do any Survivor recaps, and I kind of watched the show in thirds until the last maybe 4 episodes. I watched the premiere of Survivor. And then after the premiere, I think I missed the next 3 episodes or 2 episodes. I watched them in a row. And then I missed the next 3 or 4 episodes. I watched all 4 in a row. And then I caught up a couple of weeks ago. And then I watched the 2 weeks ago episode and the 2 hour episode last week and the 2 hour episode this week. All my people that I wanted to see in the finale didn't make it there. So that was one thing. This is a spoiler alert for anyone who has not seen the end. I'm going to give you like 30 seconds. I'm going to look at the time and give you 30 seconds to turn this off if you don't want to know who won. And then from there, I'm going to start talking about the finale. Okay, so that's about 30 seconds. Now, going into our final four, we had immunity on the line. And in expected results, Rachel wins the final immunity. She wins 4 immunities for the season. Jeff says only 5 women have ever done that before. Sam actually took a little bit of a lead, but then she took it over when it came to the puzzle. And she chose for Sue to sit out the fire making challenge. And we all know she was just like, oh, there's nobody that I would rather see by my side. The whole there's nobody I'd rather see by my side thing, I was looking at that like, now that I have some seasons of Survivor watching under my belt, I realized that that was really her being like, my biggest threat to actually take me out of the game is Sue. So I don't want Sue to have a chance to make fire so she can add that to her resume. I know how Survivor goes by now. At least modern day Survivor, because I started watching modern day Survivor. It was just like when Dee didn't let Austin make fire last year, where on one hand you could be like, oh, you know, they're in a showmance and I definitely want to make sure that my guy is by my side, when in reality it's more like Austin has a good enough resume to win, and if he adds the fire making challenge to that resume, then it's going to add to his resume. And because of how close those votes were in last year's finale, the fire could have pushed him over the edge. But in this case, I think Rachel was kind of a landslide, and she just wanted to guarantee herself the win that she worked for and that she earned. She earned it as more of a comp beast than a strategist, but every season is different. And it's hard to make claims to strategy. Like, all the people that could make claims that they made big strategic moves without winning were taken out of the game. So the people that were left in the game, they didn't have the wins that she had. In Sam's case, he didn't win at all. I think Sue had a win, didn't she? I'm muting it for a second. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, so when we got our... Oh, the most exciting part of the episode to me, by far, was Sam versus Teeny in the fire making challenge. So I felt it was unfair. I mean, people can do whatever they want on Survivor, but I felt it was unfair that Rachel was pretty much coaching Teeny on how to make fire. And there was poor Sam out there just trying to make fire on his own when that's not something that he knows how to do well. And it was really dramatic how he wasn't even able to start his fire at all. And Teeny's fire was already burning the rope by the time his fire even got started. And I was like, ah. And then his fire started to get a little bit bigger. I didn't even like the fact that as Teeny was building her fire, she was asking Rachel, like, what do I do now? And Rachel was giving her advice. I have never seen that. I've seen people like cheering somebody on while they're making their fire, but I've never seen a case of somebody actually coaching the other person. That was challenge-esque, because that's something that happens on the challenge all the time. Like on the challenge, when they don't want somebody to win in particular, they will coach the other person. So then Sam got his little fire going. Then he added some sticks. Then I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, she's still far ahead. Jeff was like, it's an inferno. Teeny's fire is an inferno, and it's just a matter of time until that rope breaks. And I'm looking at it, and then all of a sudden, the Survivor gods, that's like a challenge inside joke. The Survivor gods were like, whoosh, blew some wind, and then all of a sudden, the flame was not going on the rope anymore, and Sam's flame was rising up. Pause for a minute. Stole the nightly ritual. I'm just going through it a little earlier than usual. Alright. Let's decide what we're gonna do today. Hi. Alright, we are back. So, yes, this gust of wind from the Survivor gods was like whoosh. You ain't gonna make this finale tonight, teeny tiny. So Sam ends up winning in dramatic comeback fashion, which was amazing and exciting. And then I was saying to myself, who has a case to win other than Rachel? And I said on the Discord, it's between Rachel and Sue. It was Rachel's lose. I think that the person who raised their stock the most based on their answers to the questions, definitely Sam. But it also didn't matter because Sam didn't make a big enough of an impact in the game for him to be legitimately considered. But for him to have made that little of an impact and still grab a vote, that was something that Jake couldn't do last year. And if I'm not mistaken, Jake was the one who won Fire to make it to the final 3 last year, but everybody knew that Jake wasn't going to win. And low key, this was kind of like that, except Sam threw some haymakers in there at the end to where I was like, wow, he had some really great rebuttals to some of the things that Rachel and Sue were saying, because they pretty much double teamed him at the end. So I really wanted to go to this finale party, but I'm not gonna lie, I still would have loved to go to the finale party because live events are really cool. They're really awesome to go to a live event and just be amongst all the people who participated in the show, talk to them and ask them questions. But the ending was anticlimactic to me. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't surprising. I was like, please somebody get Rachel out. And the thing is, probably the thing that I enjoyed watching the most, the episode that I enjoyed watching the most, I would say was Operation Italy. And I wanted my guy Andy to win, but here's the thing. Rachel played the best game. Rachel sat there. Rachel won pretty much when she sat there and let everybody tell her that it was in the best interest of them to vote her out of the game. And she had one of the most iconically slept on lines at the end of a game that I have ever heard, which is, how did she say it? Something to the effect of, the only thing better than attending your own funeral is knowing that you're gonna live the next day. That was pretty much the end of it right there. That was a nail in the coffin. That was a nail in the coffin. The only thing better than attending your own funeral is knowing that you're gonna live the next day. I don't know if she said it exactly like that, but that was the gist of it. I think that could have been a verbatim line. And once she used that idol when everybody was trying to vote her out that week, I was like, it's probably over. Because I was thinking to myself, there's 4 people left. I know anyone can win. But based on performance of what we have seen so far, I'm going to give Rachel as the most likely person to win the last immunity challenge. And she did. And Like I said, you don't have to win just by having the most wins. But I felt like all the people that could claim that they impacted strategy the most without having the W were out. And the interesting thing is, I don't even know if I would say that she was the biggest contributor to getting those people out. She just kept herself safe. But there wasn't a ton of strategy going on in this game. So because of that, the wins were enough. So it's kind of, it gives kind of Jag Big Brother 26-ish. I'm not saying that she's a villain like a Jag, but I am saying that this is one of the least strategic wins that I've ever seen in my, I think this is my 5th or 6th season now that I've watched. So, but it was deserved. It was deserved. Overall, I did like the season. The season was good. The ending wasn't what I wanted. Wasn't as good as what I hoped for, but the overall season was a good season. So I'd give it like a B+ overall. Last season's ending was one of the best. Well, not one of the best. I can't speak for other seasons. Out of the seasons that I personally have watched the final tribal council for, that was the best one I ever watched. Hi, Marshall, if I didn't say that already. Y'all can tell me if there's been more dramatic backs and forths, but that one was the best one that I've seen out of the 5 or 6 that I saw. And that's a wrap for Survivor. So what do we got up next? The challenge finale. I think the date of the challenge finale is either the 1st or the 8th. I know it starts the 1st. I don't know if it's a 2-parter. I'll know by next week, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna watch the episode of the challenge now, and then I'm going to go to bed. So thanks for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I drop some more great content. Thank you.